Hi guys, this is Ola the Code Master. Today I want to show you how to create a virtual town, like a game where you can create your own virtual community with different objects in it that can move around and also talk to each other. Okay, just like this game where we have a community where with different objects that can move to different locations and also talk to each other. As you can see, our objects can move around and also can move to different locations. Okay, so you can as well create a game like this. You can create a virtual community like this, and you can use the idea to create any other type of storyline or moving game that comes to your mind. Okay, so the basic thing here, we have different objects, character, and different location of a community where the objects can move to, and the object can also talk to each other. Okay, so let's get started. Let's launch our Scratch to create our own from scratch. Okay, so yep, let's launch the Scratch. So I will start a new project from scratch so that you can see how it's been done. Okay, so launch your Scratch. Let it load and let us get started. Okay, let's get started. So Scratch, the first thing I want to do is to select my objects that I want for my virtual city or virtual town. Okay, so the first object is my moving object, the object that will be taking us around the town. Okay, so you can use any of these here, but for more clarity, let me go back to show you how I get here. Okay, on this, choose a sprite, then you can click on it, it will take you here. You can choose a picture here, and you can as well create a picture from scratch. I will also show you how to do that in a minute. Okay, let's go on. So let me find an object to use for my moving object, like somebody that is taking us to a new virtual city and show us around the virtual city. Okay, so I'm looking for a nice object I can choose. Sure, I like this and I want to use this object. Okay, what other object do I want to have? So I want to have a dog. Yes, and this gentleman have a dog in his house that will welcome him or her when he gets home. So I'm looking for a dog. I like this dog. So yeah, I like this dog. But like this dog, let's assume I don't like the direction the dog face. and I want to change the direction, I can flip. So I just need to click on my objects and go to custom. So and I can flip horizontally. You can see I've changed the direction of my dog. That's the second object I want to have. And also let us create our background now for each location, because we have objects in the town. We have different location this gentleman or gentlewoman is taking us to. So let's have like 4 location. So when you let me go back so that you can see clearly. When you want to create location, you can use different background. You can use the background on Scratch, and you can also as well import background if you have on your system. Okay, you can design graphics on other application and import it to Scratch. If you have graphics idea or you are coding graphics, using maybe Adobe or CorelDRAW, any other graphic design or canvas like that. But for the purpose of this tutorial, let's stick to the tools available on the Scratch here. Okay, so if I want to have background, I will come to backdrop here, then I can click on it and choose a preferred background of my choice based on the storyline I want to create. Okay, so let's look for a nice background. Yep, sure. Let's assume I like this background, and also I want to add another object so that it will look like this gentleman that want to show us around this town, they want to show us around, drop in a car and come down alive from the car, then taking us around. Okay, so I want to add another object, which is something like car or bus. You can use any of these objects as I said, and you can upload an object from your system, and as well you can excuse me, let me quickly plug my system. Okay, yeah, so good, that's it. Let's look for the objects, a bus, a car. Which one you like, your choice. I'm going with this. Now this object is big and I want to reduce the size. I just need to click on the object and come to the size here and reduce the size. So let's assume I want it to be 50. You can see I'm able to reduce it to some extent. Same thing with other objects. I want to reduce them to 50. I want them to be smaller. Okay, same thing with this, 50. Okay, so this is my boss, and this is the gentleman that want to take us around a new created virtual city. Okay, the dog. Okay, that is his dog. The dog is at home, it's waiting for him. Okay, now the next thing I want to create another location. This is a location. We have not know which objects among all these objects that want to be here that will depend on our storyline, but at least we want to take out 4 different locations in this virtual turn. So in that case, we need to have 4 different background. And as I said before, you can use the background already, the template already on the scratch, or you can create the background by yourself, and at the same time you can import background from your system. Okay, so you can see upload here, you can upload from here. Then if you want to choose from the scratch, you can simply click on this button, and if you want to create design the background by yourself, which we will do most in this project, then you can use this one. Okay, so let's design a background for our next location. Okay, so click on that brush. Then what I'm going to do is to click on this box, the rectangle, and change the color to something like a green, so it will look like a grass. Adjust the color. Yeah, I have the color. I can click on the box and draw my background. I can drag it to cover the whole background. Okay, I have a new background now. Then I want to create something look like a road on my background, so I can use this brush and change the color. As I change it to brown and give it, reduce the saturation so that it can look like what I really want. Okay, sure. Then I can use this brush. I can reduce the size to 100 so that it will be a big brush. I can draw my road. Yeah, that's my road. Okay, and let's assume that along this road I want to have like a tree on the road. You can draw the tree, and you can as well copy the tree from scratch. So in this one, what I want to do is to look for a tree object under the sprite here, so, and copy it to my background. Okay, so let me look for a tree that I can use now. So I will just look here and find a nice tree. We can search here to save time. You can see we have tree here. So this tree, I can click on it and go to custom. Then I can copy this tree, go back to my background, then paste this tree. Then I only created this one to copy the tree, then I can delete it now. Okay, so let's go back to background. So I have my tree here. Then I can move this road, I can move this tree back so that the edge of this tree will look nice. So I will just click on the road and click front here. You can see it moved the road to front. Now I have a tree along the road. So now I can decide to undo that. So I can have as much tree I want on that road if I like. So let's assume I want to add another one. I can reduce the size, then I can put it here somewhere here, and you can see I also need to move my road to front to overlay the tree. Okay, let's assume this my another location in my virtual town. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to create another location. Sure, let me go back. I want to create this location from scratch. So then let's design our new location. So same thing, I can draw the background green. Okay, then on this location we want to have houses just like streets. Okay, so you can import house from scratch. You can use any of those objects. You see house there, I see house, you see house, but for you to have good idea of how to create your own picture by yourself, how to design your own background by yourself, we will design the house by ourselves, and it's very pretty simple. You just need to combine one or two shapes together. Okay, so let's do that. Now let's design a house. So I will use this shape again, rectangle, and change the color. Yeah, sure. So I will draw a restaurant here. Okay, I will change the color again to something like that. Depend on the color you want to give your house. I draw another. Okay, draw another rectangle here. I can move it. Okay, yeah, then I can change the color again to create my door. Oh, sorry, I need to drop that tools. Okay, now I can change the color again to draw my door, to create door for my house. The same shape, you can see that is pretty simple. The same shape, just combining different format. Now I have a simple house on this background now. Oh, sorry, I have not dropped my tools, so always remember to drop your tools to not mess your work up. So now let's assume I want to have many buildings, like 2 or 3 buildings here. I can just copy this and paste it over other side and change the color. So if you click this, it will only select the top part alone, but if you hold down your shift key and press all the shape there, you will select everything and click on Ctrl C. You can copy, then you can Ctrl V to paste. You can see we have another building here. I can press Ctrl V again to press another one. I have another building here. Then I can change the color of my building so that they look different. Yeah. So let's zoom. That's the color I want to use for that. Then I want to change this as well. So let's zoom. That's the color I want to use, and this maybe I can as well change it. Yeah. Now we have all our houses here now. So let's zoom. I want to create a road, another road in front of those house. So let me click on the brush, change the color to something similar to road color. Sure. Let me reduce the saturation. Okay, I have it now. Then I can draw a road. Okay, so you can see I have another background now with houses and the road that we passed. Okay, let me create one more location. Like now we have three locations, sorry. This one location when we arrive, then this another location when we are moving to the house, the street that we pass, and maybe our final location will be when we finally arrive home. Okay, so I will create a new background for our new location, in which I will use these tools again. Change the color. I believe you should choose. The rectangle here. You click on it, change the color to green as usual. Okay, you can see change the color, saturation, and brightness to shoot what you want as output. Then gonna draw the background again. Yeah, and on this background I want to have only the gentleman house we are going. So I'm going to have a house here. So instead of creating a new house, I can just paste the one we have copied the other time from this background. Okay, I'll paste it here. I can change the color if I like. Sure, what color? Just the nice color that you like. This way your knowledge of color combination comes in. So you can design the way you feel like. Okay, that's look beautiful. Yeah, so next thing I want to have on this background is a road. So we create the road as usual, use the toothbrush and change the color to something resemble a road color of a town or village. Okay, so let's draw a road. This time I want to start my road. Yeah, so this is the background for this location, and let us zoom down here. Maybe I want to have a stream, something like a river or whatever. I can use shape toolbox to create something like this. So just change the color to a sky color. So I can draw something like this. Something like a cloud. Drop my tools. I can position it anywhere that I think it fits, but layer zoom, I put it there. So now I have 4 different locations. Let me delete this particular location. So I have 4 different background here, which represent each of my location I want to have in my virtual turn. Is first location, second location, third location, and fourth location. And do you think we should add anything to our background? So for instance, let's assume I want to add a tree to this background as well. So I can come here and look for a tree. Let me use this type of tree this time around. Click on it, go to custom, then I can copy this tree to see and go back to my background and paste. I can reduce the size, so I can reduce the size if I want. Yeah, I have that tree there. Then I can delete this one. I don't need it again. Now let's go back to our background. So we have this 4 location on this location as well. Maybe I might decide to add something to make it more attractive. Okay, let me see if I can see an object here that I like. Maybe if you think of something like this, let's see how it works. So go to custom, I can copy, then go back to my background, this particular one, is this one. I can paste it and see where I can visit. I did not complete the whole thing, so I need to delete it and go back and copy. So you make sure you select the whole picture, then come to see, then let's go back to background, okay, and paste it. Then we can reduce the size, and we might not like the direction that this particular object face the building, to make our work meaningful. Okay, so I can come to flip here, flip horizontal, then should in case you want to flip vertical, but that's not what we want to do now. Let's go back. Okay, so you can see we have a nice building here. Okay, so these are our different 4 locations. I don't need this building here again. I can delete it. I just use it to copy a picture for my background. Now we have 4 locations. You can add as many locations depend on your own storyline and the type of game or virtual turn that you want to design. Okay, the first location, second location, third location, and fourth location. Now the next thing to work on is how to move from one location to another location in our virtual tone. So what I'm going to do is simple. Just come to sprite here and look for arrow key. You can see the arrow key. So we add arrow key. Let's position it here. And what we want this arrow key to do for us is that whenever we click on this arrow key, it should take us to another location. Okay, and that is simple to do. Okay, just go to code. Once you click on your arrow that you just bring in, that you just brought in, do then code. Under the code, we can say lookup. We can go to lookup, and we can use this function switch backdrop. Here, background is called backdrop. So switch backdrop to social location. But before we do this, let's quickly name each of our background. Okay, so let's go to background, click on each of them and give them names. So let's call this one arrive. So let's call this one going home, going home. Then let's call this one street, the street that we found. Then let's call this one home. So we have successfully named each of our location, each of our background. Okay, so let's go back to this arrow. Now let's go to code. Now if you can remember, we come to look and pick out this function switch backdrop to. Now when you click on that, it will show you different area it can switch to, but here we want to switch to next background. So that means when we click this button, it should take us to the next location. Okay, so we need to add a event. What will happen before this can happen? So that event, then when this sprite click, you can use this function, place it on it. So just see it like you are building a block. So this is how you code your object. So we click on the arrow, we come to the code, we choose our look, which is switch background to next. Then when we click on this arrow. Okay, so now you can see when you click on the arrow, now you can change to different location. What next to have now is arrow that can take us back to our previous location. So I'm going to add another arrow. This is it. I can put it here, but I want to flip it to the left direction. So I'll click on the arrow in question and come to custom and flip it. You can see now we have able to flip it. I can drag it to position it wherever I want to be. So the same thing, we go to code and we have to code that arrow also to make that arrow function. So let's go to look, then switch background to and change it to previous backdrop. Then let's go to events and choose when strike to. That is, when we click this arrow, it takes us to previous background. You can see it's taking us. You can see the each of our arrow is working now, taking to us to different location. Now what's next now is that you can see we have many objects in each of these background, and all of them are not supposed to be in every background. So we now need to code each of our every object to know, for the program to know who should appear where. Okay, so let's quickly do that. For the dog, we only want to see our dog when we get home, because our dog is at home. So I have clicked on the dog. I'm going to the code. So under code, you can go to look. When you scroll down, look up a function called hide and show. So hide. So we have 4 locations here. We want our dog to show on only 1 location, which is when we get home, because our dog is at home. Okay, so I need to hide dog on other 3 locations. So I have 3 hide here. Then come to events. So when background drop switch to, you can use this function, that is when background drop switch to arrive, when switch to home, the dog should show. Then let's carry another when. So but when switch to going home, it should hide, and also streets, on the streets it should hide also on the, okay, we hide it on the street going home, on arrival. So those are the 3 places that we want to hide our dog, because we left it at home. So now if you go back to, you can see on other background, now we don't have dog here, we don't have dog again, the dog again, we only have the dog at the home background. You can see now. Okay, so same thing apply to the bus. So we leave our bus here at this location and walk down to our house. Okay, so now we only want the bus to show at in this location alone, but hide on other locations. So let's click our bus and code it. So go to code, same thing, go to look, and then use hide and show syntax. Okay, want to hide the bus as well on 3 different locations, so we need 3 hide. So just drag and drop it, then come to events. So when background switch to arrive, this is only when we need the bus to show. Okay, so other place we want to hide this, going home, hide, street, on the street, hide, and getting home, hide. So now if we click on the arrow, switch to different location, we can see we only have bus on arrival, on the street going home, no bus, on the streets, no bus, and at home, no bus. You can see our code is working perfectly. Okay, so the next thing we want to do now, we want these 2 objects, this gentleman and the dog. You know, when you get home, your dog welcome you, so we want them to able to talk to each other. So let's click on the object, the Mr. Man that's taking us around the virtual town. So let's click on the object and go to code, then under look, then we can say hello for so seconds. Okay, and this hello can be changed to anything. It can be hi or hey. Yep, for 2 seconds, and you can as well can use anything you like. Okay, so then events, when do we want this to happen? So when background switch to home, so when background switch to home, so now if you click on this, you can see hi. Okay, also we want the dog also to respond, so can go to look, say what, so we can use anything, but let's say welcome, so the dog welcome the owner. So when do we want this one to occur? Is when the background switch to home alone. So we choose home here. So when you click this now, you can see the dog also say welcome the owner. Okay, so let's quickly test our code. You can see now on the first background, highlighting for the boss, walking home on the streets. Then when they shoot each other, they talk to each other, hey, hello, welcome. Okay, so the final thing we need to do here is to able to move our object from one place to another, so the object can walk around the background. I mean the gentleman can walk around the background and show us wherever he want to show us. Okay, so to do that, let's click on the object, the manage step again. Okay, so when you go to motion under code, then you will see this function, and should in case you don't know what this function change s by 10 or change s by anything mean, if you want to move, if you are moving toward the right side, that s change by positive number, but by negative number you are moving to the left side. Like it's just a control to move front and back of your background. Okay, so I can have two of it, one for right and one for left, and the only thing I need to do is to change the one for left to negative, that's -10. Can be minus any number depend on the distance you want to move. So when I'm clicking on change by s, you can see I can move front, then by this with second one, oh, I paid the wrong one here. This should be change by s, so change by s, then change it to -10. I will later show you what change by y mean. Okay, so now you can see we're able to move back, able to move front. What if we want to move up or down? So we can use, that's when we can use change by y move up and down. So we need to as well up, so up arrow for change y positive, change y negative for down arrow, front arrow change s, back arrow change y negative. Okay, so how we change this to -10. So now if I click on this, my object can move up. If I click on the negative one, y, change y, you can see my object can move down. Okay, now but when will all this happen? When we click on, we have to assign arrow, we have to assign a particular key to each of those functions. So I will carry this key, this function, when space key press, but when space key press can be changed, that space can be changed to any key on your keyboard. And you can see now we see up arrow, that is when we press up arrow. Now right now I'm pressing up arrow on my keyboard, and you can see my object is moving up. Also, we can use it for other one. We just need to change the key, this down arrow. Okay, this one, left arrow, and this right arrow. Now our object can easily move up and down, front and back on different location with arrow key, left and right, up and down arrow key. You can see. So now let's play the whole work and see how it works. You can see this is the gentleman. You can move around here. I can move on to another location by clicking the arrow on this location as well. We can move to any part that we want. You can move, and you can as well go to another location, take us to another location, going on the streets, then maybe finally got home and say welcome, hi to the stock. So thank you for watching. You can use this idea to create and design your own towns, your own virtual town, your own virtual city, or your own virtual community or street, anything, or your moving game. Think of anything. You just need to be creative with what you are doing. Thank you. See you next time.